Cottle. Herbie.
Here.
Holt. Johnson.
Here.
Southall.
Here.
Is there a motion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I would move to excuse Councilwoman Cottle and Councilwoman Holt.
It's been moved and seconded that we excuse Councilwoman Cottle and Councilwoman Holt. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to excuse, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those council members are excused. Item number 2 is minutes. You would have received your copies of minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. Item number 3 is presentations. We have no presentations for this evening. Item number 4, communications from the public. This is a time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions of concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcription. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Mrs. Smith, do you have any? Mr. Smith has nothing for us this evening. Next item is reports of standing committees. The first of those are public improvements and facilities. Mr. Southall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. I do not have a report for public improvement and facilities at this time, sir. But I would entertain any questions someone may have.
Any questions for Mr. Southall? Hearing none, Mr. Southall, I have no items on the agenda for the work session of the 11th. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not at this time, sir.
Next item on the agenda is Public Safety Committee. Councilwoman Cottle is absent. Does anybody on that committee have any reports for her?
Yes, Mr.
Mr.
yes,
Southall?
Mr. Mayor. As a member of the Safety Committee, I'd like to report that this month has been designated or selected by the fire chief to that we may alert the public on the fact that this is the change of the season from the summer to the winter. Thus, there are several things that need to be reminded or that we should take into consideration. And the first thing is that we should make sure that our furnace is inspected and is ready for the winter season. As a result of having been dormant for 6 months, the furnace can gather a lot of dust and so forth and so on. So thus we need to have the professional technicians to come out and clean and inspect that item. We should also be cognizant of the fact that carbon monoxide is something that's very, very important, that we should be aware of the fact that carbon monoxide is odorless and it can be very lethal. It's something that we don't normally detect on a normal basis, so we must make sure that our carbon monoxide detectors have working batteries. And, actually, they should be changed once a month, and certainly the whole unit should be changed in 10 years, or if it needs to be done sooner, then that should happen. The other item I want to bring to you about the change of the season is also the smoke detectors. They should be changed when the time changes as a reminder that this is something that's very important that needs to be dealt with. There are other items, Mr. Mayor, but those are the chief ones, and I'll conclude my report at that point, and if anybody have any additional questions to me, I'll be happy to fill that.
Okay, anything else on public safety? Mr. South, I want to go back to public improvement for just a moment, just a reminder to our citizens that the CHIPPR program has ended. It ended, I think, with the end of September. So if you have debris and items that you would normally be putting out for CHIPPR, you need to find some other way to dispose of it. If you have items that were put out after the close of the program, you're going to need to get that removed and find another way of disposing of it. Hopefully, if everything goes well, the program will be back in functioning next year. But for this year, the CHIPPR program has ended. So please number one, don't put anything out there because nobody's going to pick it up. And two, if you have stuff out there that's not been picked up, you're going to need to take care of it yourself so that you don't get cited for that. Thank you. The next standing committee report is Ways and Means. Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I've got a few reports of some of our environmental programs. The Reforesting of Forest Park program, all 100 trees have been reserved, and home delivery is going to be tomorrow. So if you are anticipating getting one of those, please prepare your soil for those to plant those trees. Also, the large appliance collection program also ended at the end of August, and 45 appliances were collected, with 22 of them containing Freon. One of the interesting things that we did this year is partnered with the high school and also with the garden club to do the high school football stadium recycling program. And that program is up and running. And then the used tire collection, which I think was last week, 131 tires were collected from 31 homes. So that's also one of our successful programs. And that would conclude my report.
Any questions for Councilwoman Herbie? Okay. Councilwoman Herbie, I have nothing on the agenda for the work session for you. Do you have anything to add?
Nope.
Okay, next committee report is Community Development. Mr. Barnes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report this evening. However, if there are any questions, I'll be glad to respond.
Any questions for Mr. Barnes? Hearing none, Mr. Barnes, I have nothing on the agenda for you. Do you have any items?
No, I do not.
Next committee report is Human Resources Committee, Councilwoman Holt. She's absent. Does anyone from her committee have anything to report on human resources? Next would be Intergovernmental Relations and Communications. That's my committee. I have nothing to report on that one. I would answer any questions if there are any. Hearing none, the last standing committee report is Law Committee, Councilwoman Collins.
I have no report from the Law Committee at this time. However, if anyone has any questions, I'm available to answer them.
Any questions for Councilwoman Collins? Hearing none, Councilwoman Collins, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not.
Thank you. We would now move to item number 6, the mayor's report. Just a couple of announcements, events coming up this week. The volunteer/employee recognition dinner is this Thursday, October 6th, starting at 5:30. Usually runs from 5:30 to about 8:30 at the Senior Center. Also, at that meeting is the normally when we would induct people into the City Hall of Fame, and I believe, Mrs. Smith, we have one individual, one inductee for this year. Secondly, on the 8th, the Historic Society was we'll have a program celebrating the 60th anniversary of the City of Forest Park. That would also be held in the Senior Center on Saturday, October 8th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We would hope that everybody would come out and take part in that celebration of our 60th anniversary. On another note, if we have had over the last year, maybe two, and now a third one, I believe, and I'm saying it for the citizens, when people are vacating houses, there seems to be a growing tendency for the workers to come, take everything out of the house and set it out in the front yard or on the lawn. That's not acceptable. It's not the city's responsibility to haul this stuff away from you. If it's your house or the new owner, whoever is buying and renovating or cleaning out that house, it's their responsibility to take it away. So I would ask the citizens, if you see this while you're driving around or in your neighborhood, please call the city and let us know so that you don't have to look at that eyesore every time you're driving up and down your street or other streets in Forest Park. If it comes to the point where the city does have to take action to remove that, we're going to bill the people for our time, for the labor, and for the cost of doing it. So it's probably going to be a lot cheaper if they do it themselves than they have us do it, and then they have to pay us. Councilwoman Herbie.
You might also point out that Rumpke does not collect that.
No, that's not.
That's not their responsibility either.
That's another thing that I was going to bring up, and maybe have you, you're on environmental mention to Wright or you one day in terms of Rumpke. I'm noting that people are more and more putting things out that Rumpke does not take. And maybe it's a matter of we need to send out something to remind people of what is acceptable and what is not. I don't know if you saw it. I think I saw it today, maybe, yeah, I guess it would have been today, on one of the local news channels. They are having a number of fires out at the dumping area because people are putting stuff in recycle that shouldn't be put there. And people are putting things, when I'm saying it, so again, it's not, this is not Forest Park, this is just generally. But maybe we need to make sure that the word gets out of what should be put out, what should not be put out. You talked about large appliances, but I've noted that people are putting out mattresses, sofas. I drove by the other day and there was one place there was a bureau and a big dresser with a mirror and a couple of recliners. Those kind of things, you have to call and make special arrangements to have those picked up. You just can't sit them out there and assume that they're going to take them. The final thing I'll say under that, and I know this is something that we have talked about in the past. We've never mandated it, but especially, you don't have to get a bin or dumpster from Rumpke. But you need to understand, especially if you're putting your trash out at night before the pickup the next day, animals are going to tear into the plastic bags if there's any types of food stuff in there at all. The cost to get it, if you don't want to get one from us, go down to Home Depot or somewhere and buy one that can be covered, that has a top on it. Rumpke is not going to pick the trash up out of the street and out of your yard when the animals get in it. So just keep that in mind. And that would, yeah.
Yeah, there is, if you are on full service from Rumpke, there is a fee for one of the bins. But if you are on the Eco tier, that trash bin and also the recycling are both free.
Okay. Mr. Barnes, you had anything to add to any of that about Rumpke?
No, I think everything that was shared is exactly true. I think the encouragement to encourage individuals and homeowners to have a bin of some type is the right thing to do, just for their own, the appearance of their home and any things that they may have that may be subject to being broken as the trash men come, because they're, no one's perfect. You have the danger of animals, but you also have the danger of the potential when the trash person picks that bag up. If it's too heavy, it could break. And in many cases, they can't get everything if they break it.
Right.
So it just helps to have a bin, so.
Okay, thank you. That will conclude my report. Any questions? If none, we'll move on to item number 7, City Manager's Report. Mr. Smith.
Just a couple of things. One is just to remind everyone that the city manager will be out of the office this week, which means also he will not be at the volunteer recognition dinner, but I will be there filling in for him at that event, as well as the 60th anniversary event as well. My second thing is just more of a point of information for you. We received a phone call from the school district, particularly Steve Denny, and had requested that we turn on the lights at Central Park for them during their last 2 or 3 home football games they have, to help light that area up toward the end of the game. It's more of a security issue for them, so they can get more visibility. So if you happen to see those lights on, even though there's no one over at that park, we're burning them for basically an hour. And it's that last part of the game, giving folks time to get picked up and cleared out of that area, and then they'll shut off by themselves automatically. So in case, again, I think there's 3 dates that are left.
Yeah, I think you have 3 left.
And this was as a result of their own internal security measures they're trying to put in place. So right now, this year, there's not a cost for that right now, but we may have to look at having that conversation with them as we go into the new year, because those lights are rather expensive to burn and to run out there. But for now, for the next 3 times, for those 3 hours overall, that's kind of what's going on. So if you see no one out there with the lights burning on a Friday of a home game, that's what's going on.
Okay.
And that will conclude my report.
Any questions for Mr. Smith? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Item number 8, other reports. First of those being Law Director, Mr. Wyckoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing specific to report on tonight, but would answer any questions.
Any questions for the Law Director? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Next report B is Clerk of Council, Mrs. Huffman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that ordinance number 14-2016 and resolution numbers 30-2016 and 31-2016 were posted as required. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Clerk of Council? Hearing none, thank you, Ms. Huffman. Item 9, unfinished business. Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move to suspend rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the second time by title only ordinance number 16-2016.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate occasions and read for the second time by title only ordinance number 16-2016. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, 2 things. This ordinance was read for the first time by title only on September 19th, and also it was posted as required.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the motion to suspend the rules?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes?
Sathon.
Yes.
The motion to suspend the rules passes 5-0. So now we go to item A under number 9, ordinance number 16-2016. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 16-2016, an ordinance supplementing Chapter 96 miscellaneous regulations regarding graffiti abatement.
Is there a motion, Mr. Barnes?
I move for the adoption of ordinance 16-2016.
Second?
Been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance number 16-2016. Is there any discussion, Mr. Barnes?
Yes, this ordinance is designed to formally address the requirements and process to remove graffiti from private property. Up until now, we've basically addressed graffiti on private property through administrative interaction because our codes are rather silent about removing graffiti in a timely manner. Obviously, we've been aggressive and consistent enough to stay on top of it. And fortunately, our community is not plagued with the unsightly graffiti. Nevertheless, we believe it's time to address the requirement to remove graffiti on property in a more formal manner. This ordinance spells out the timeliness for complying as well as the alternatives and consequences for failure to comply with an order to remove graffiti. Therefore, staff is recommending that we adopt this item and, hope that it's very limited use. And with that, I urge the adoption of ordinance 16-2016.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll, the vote on ordinance 16-2016?
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Ordinance 16-2016 passes 5-0. Next item on the agenda is item 10, new business. The first item under new business is resolution number 32-2016. This was not posted, and it will be read in full.
Resolution number 32-2016, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Whereas the Council of the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.34 and all other provisions of law, has previously adopted the tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2017. And whereas the Budget Commission of Hamilton County, Ohio, has certified its actions thereon to this council and what part thereof is without, and what part within the 10 mil limitations, therefore be it. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Forest Park, Hamilton County, Ohio, Section 1, that the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission in its certification be and the same are hereby accepted. Section 2, that there be and is hereby levied on the tax duplicate of said city the rate of each tax necessary to be levied within and without the 10 mil limitation as contained in Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part of this resolution. Section 3, this resolution shall be in full force and take effect from and after its passage.
Okay, before you make your motion, Councilwoman Herbert, in your explanation, I think you need to make sure that people understand that we aren't putting a new tax out on, okay? Now I'll hear your motion.
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 32-2016.
Moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 32-2016. Any discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, this is part of our budgeting process, which starts with the submission of the tax budget to the county. And the county reviews it and then sets the rates that have been approved by the voters for the assessment of those taxes. They send that back to us, and then we approve by resolution what they've sent back to us. So I would urge passage of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on resolution 32-2016?
Herbie,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Resolution 32-2016 passes 5-0. Is there any other business to come before the body? Any other business to come before the council at this time? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.